Yeah, in 2024, I'm most excited about our new newsroom strategy. We'll be in touch with some great celebrities, both in the UK and international. We have some really great, exciting opportunities for interviews for sports figures across the world, and some great influential people that will be interviewing that are relevant to our clients. And we've seen how important that is for journalists as well. It's just a great way of building links that are super relevant to each brand. And I'm pretty sure almost every brand should be tapping into that in 2024.
I'm very excited for the social media integration we have with a lot of clients in the UK next year. So we're working with a lot of influencers to provide those expert tips and just insight into their thoughts and feelings on different topics. TikTok's obviously become a massive search engine over the past couple of years. I know I always look for hacks and things like that on TikTok rather than Google, RIP. So yeah, and I know that a lot of places like Reach PLC are moving their strategy towards doing little segment, online content segments as well, and utilising those in stories. So I think that's going to be a great way of getting pick up in the future too.
Mine is very similar to yours. I think that it's a common theme that we've seen among journalists using hashtag data from TikTok or hashtag data from Instagram or search data. So I think integrating that into press releases is something that's going to be really valuable. It's data that we can get quite easily, and it's also, it's trending.
So for a travel client we're working with, we're actually onboarding a TikTok influencer / qualified vet who's going to provide us some insight for different campaigns, because I think authority is a big thing nowadays when it comes to offering expert insight. People just want to trust what they're hearing from. A brand's not good enough anymore to be given expertise, unless they've got talking heads. Really looking forward to that one. I think it should bring in some good results, and we're also working on some short form content to integrate into that as well.
Nice, exciting.
I'm looking forward to mainly in terms of sort of the team at the moment, a big sort of focus at the moment, internationally especially, is moving across sort of Europe and then across obviously more international places as well. So Germany is a massive focus for us at the moment, which is going really well. It's can we sort of replicate that in different areas? France, Spain, for example, we've got native speakers in the team that are sort of ready to do that. Obviously we've got Greek sat next to us here, and we've got Norwegian speakers and Spanish speakers with Jack. So it's just sort of, I'm excited to see where that goes and how we can sort of take over that bit of the market.
I want to definitely see more brands using their own internal data. It's literally gold for journalists, and especially if you are second guessing, if you have second thoughts about using your own data, just look at, even reach out to journalists, look at what they would possibly be covering, and you are the only people that actually have this data. So it's actual gold when they say about journalists, and they would love to cover anything that has to do with your specific industry. Even if you're in a regulator industry, they might be more, not so much into the sexy side, as we say, for PR, but still there are so many niche journalists out there, specifically, to your regions that you cover, that would love this data. So create stories. They're data-led. Actually, it's all about storytelling and not story selling. That's what you're doing. If you're done already, get a lot of hobbies, get super adventurous and get really invested in different topics in your life. Even if you are already, just make sure you're really versatile when it comes to topics that you go through every day, because that will make you so creative, because you'll be working in an agency potentially from an insurance client to a sports client to whatever, a kitchen client. So you will have to be an expert and wear so many hats. So the moment you are actually invested in kind of an expert of plenty of things, you will get this type of mindset already, so you can jump in an agency and just be ready. It just gives you a good mindset.
I think that's really important as well. For me personally, before joining PR, I kind of only really stuck to reading lifestyle news stories and gossip stories. But I think as you come into PR, you know that you're going to be working on so many different clients. So it's important to branch out into different kind of topics, such as security or home and gardens and stuff like that. But also I think it's really important, aside from reading the news, is actually to put it into practice and actually start writing out your own articles and news stories. And there are a lot of volunteer and community run outlets out there that accept guest posts. So I say just get as much practice as possible in writing.
I'd probably say like play to your strengths as well. Like so even your personal interests, what you do outside of work can come into play when you're actually within PR too. So whether that be you enjoy writing, whether you enjoy just creating content on social media, whatever it is, you can bring it into it. And if you're not good at something, you can always get better at it. You can always learn.
A tip for a brand is like to get into digital PR is like especially if you've got a product that's sort of be highly substituted and you can be picked up between quite a few, you have to sort of create a name for yourself in the media, and that's what PR is fantastic for, especially if you want to be seen in like the Daily Mail or the Daily Star. It's a really good way of sort of getting your brand name out there. And again, it sort of shows like a fun side to the company as well. So like some of the campaigns that we put together are really fun. We create social content for them as well that go around, and it just sort of creates that sort of social proof for the client. So there's all sorts of different like benefits of doing it, as long as PR is done correctly, which PR experts like ourselves will provide.